Hey guys, today we have Anne in the studio, and her and Peter did a shoot many years ago, and it was kind of a little bit reminiscent of these French postcard type things. So we're going to do kind of a recreation of this kind of style today.
So we're replicating a look which was sort of known as Flapper Girl, and I had quite a few different names, and I have this amazing book, French Postcards, and they call it an album of vintage erotica. But it's basically the style of shooting that was happening back in the day. I can't show you inside of it because it needs censorship, but it's predominantly this type of photography. Now I have my own name for it. So it's rich doctors and rich lawyers and politicians. During their lunchtime, they would get women to come in and they would throw a couple of bits of material that they might cover themselves up with or not cover themselves up with, and they'd all sit in their posh little offices and take photos of them with props. So I've built our little office with props, and I'm trying to replicate as close as I can. I'm not going to use, this would have been one of the types of cameras I used. This camera was from 1909 or roundabout, and I've tried to replicate. So this was, I think, a 98mm lens, so I've put a 100mm lens on. This has got a bellows movement, so I've put a tilt and shift on mine. I have put mine into portrait mode because this was designed to sit on the table like that to keep it steady. Or if you're lucky enough to have a tripod, they did actually shoot at landscape. But this book is predominantly in portrait, so I'm going to mimic the book. I've only taken just one picture. It was more to set up roughly where I was looking at putting my camera, for no other reason. We've got natural light at the moment. I'm going to use natural light and constant light and some mirrors to get the look I want. So the first thing I'm going to do is just frame up my shot. I want to then bring a hair light in. I want to use the bounce of the hair light to fill in the things I don't like about the light on. And I am going to just decide on my crop. Cool there. So I'm on 100mm, I'm on 800 ISO. I'm shooting 100th of a second, and I'm at f2.2. So these lenses wouldn't have been doing 2.2 then, so I'm going to come up to mimic them a bit. I have matched, this was 120 film, so it's going to be medium format, so I'm pretty much matching that. My gut feeling is I need to just recompose this slightly. I do want to get a stronger light force in, and it'll get a little bit of just a very subtle hair light and a bit of bounce. But even looking at the book, I wouldn't say their photography and their lighting was amazing. I think they were more interested in the half-naked girls of the day. I think I'm at f4. I think they would have had f4. They would definitely had f4 in the day. This is going to be a little bit dark, but I'm happy for this to be my fill light. If I decide I'm not happy with this, I'm just going to slow the shutter speed, and I would be happy to slow the shutter speed right down to even, most likely 1/10 of a second if I had to. So let's get some constant. Now that's 100% too bright. Let's pull it down. I want it as a subtlety. I'm liking that nice little hair light. I'm liking that little bit of rim on the edge of her. I'll just take a shot on that. All right, so that's allowing me to bring up light. Let's just get a little bit of fill light happening around. And first, so I want to grab as much of that light as I can and see what I can get just by bringing in a bit of a whiteboard and see how much difference that's going to make. Very little, but it did. Oh yeah, it's filled in. If you look if you look at this part of her face there, it has filled in the face just a little bit. So it actually has filled in the shadows quite nicely on there. And see what we can do with this. All right, there's a bit of dust on this mirror, but that could help. So I want to see what I can do with filling in. Oh, is that too bright? You sure? Yeah, but you're looking at me here. If you're looking straight ahead, that's too skinny. Yeah, no, definitely need the width. I'm only just using the long one at this stage. I just want to see how much more fill that's added. Oh yeah, the whole face has come up a little bit. All right, so I want to get a bit more in here. Let's get that second one to work. Cool, it's really pretty. Yeah, that's filled that up nicely. I'm still having a little bit of clipping on here, so I'm gonna play to try and fix that up more. Catch it light, cool. Cool, I can live with that, I can live with that. I would like a little bit more light in Anne's face. So am I happy with the hair? Oh, that could be nice. Let's get a little bit of light on the background. That's gonna give you more room to move. I'm liking that. I'm just gonna see what happens when I focus the light a little bit more onto the whiteboards to see how much kickback I can get. Let's try that. This is going to have messed up my exposure a little bit, but I would rather shoot this a little bit slower and softer anyway, Ed, so I've slowed down my shutter speed. I've left it at f4. I'm liking the lighting I've got into Anne's face. I'm not liking this is overcooking. So I really need to pull this catch light off. And I wouldn't mind grabbing a little bit more fill from somewhere else. Oh, that's nice. Just changing down to a 25th. Do you want to pose, Anne? All right, so the 25th, I'm just starting to go over. So that's now, sorry, a 25th, a 30th of a second. That's not going over now. Right, so now let's get a shot, and then I'll do a little bit of work in camera. It's really pretty. And one of the benefits of doing it this way is I can see with my eyes what's happening. I think I'm liking that light. Cool. That's cool. So this has been shot now at a 30th of a second, 800 ISO at f4. That's given me a really nice feeling. I think I might as well crop this piece of paper out, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what I would really do. Every time I think I'll just take a shortcut for the video, I then go to myself, but I wouldn't do that in real life. So stop doing shortcuts and actually do what you really do. Yeah, I just don't like the little bit of the floor in front of the rug. So I just wanted to take that off. I find on the X, the focus peaking is not very accurate. So I take my time a bit. Yeah, see that, the focus peaking was showing that catch light in her eye as razor sharp. And it's not like Anne moved, it's just, but for this image, in this day, their lenses would not have been anywhere near as sharp, so I can get away with this. I'm going to now get my finished look. Now, there's a couple of ways I could do this. They did a lot of false painting after the fact, and I could do that, but with maybe just do some desaturating and maybe even be really careful with my desaturation. So if I pull out far enough, see how we just keep a little bit of the color in there? So if I tried to color temp in a slight more sepia-y, so what I mean by that is if I pull this out, if I make this super yellow, which is about there, but once I pull that out, we've got this sort of muddy sepia-y, do you reckon a little bit like that? It feels like that's slightly painted. All right, so I've got this sort of like nice painted, like after the fact painted in on type of look on this. I'm finding this is feeling a little bit too sharp everywhere, so I am going to use the tilt shift to kill that a little bit. I brought that light up just a touch further. I'm now just getting me fussy. I've put a tilt on this camera. I've gone to maximum tilt, but I've got it so the focus is going to be on a angular plane. So I'm picking up maybe to put focus between Anne's toes through to her eyes. Cool. Well, that's really pretty. There we go. You'll see what I mean by, see how the focus falls off really, really quick. This is much more like, see how this side of her hair is really out of focus, but on here's in focus. And as I scroll down, you'll see how that boob is way out of focus compared to this one. Look how out of focus her pants have become, but look, she's back in focus down here. And this is why I love using things like bellows or tilt shifts, because you can see one foot's in focus, the other one's out. And that's giving this beautiful, dreamy, old-fashioned feel. I'm feeling need to make this a little bit dreamier. So I'm going to bring in shadow fill to milk it and then bring a down curve. I'm really liking that. So if you see now, when I focus, you'll see how the focus runs across the picture. And I can get it to the angle, see how I can pick where I want the focus to be hitting. I want it to be pulling on that foot and the eye there, and then there's my shot. So it's one of the reasons why I really enjoy using movements, except my camera shifted a little bit. Cool, let's nail off a couple of pictures with this, because I'm really happy with this. Cool, I like that there, that's really pretty. You liking Anne? Yeah. I love that. Let's snap off a few more just so I can get a cover shot. Cool, nice. That's pretty. That's nice there, I like that. That's really cool. I've got a really nice tilt. Cool, that's really pretty. Nice. That's pretty, that's really pretty. That really sort of, it has to have that pretty insecure. Or just go for innocent, go for just, that's cool, I like that. I think we're gonna have something in this. We've done our fully clothed look and cool, that's really cool. So we've just done a change. We've brought it back to cool, that's really pretty. Traditional flapper girl style, that's really stunning. There you go. That's nice, that's really pretty. That's pretty, that's really pretty. There, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's really pretty. Let's have a look at that. That's cool. That's really pretty. And it's that melancholic, just that gaze, and even the gaze down at the flowers are really pretty too. That's pretty, that's really pretty. Beautiful, there, cool. Cool, stunning, stunning. Cool, soft, that's really nice. Beautiful, there. Soften it down, just, that's better, that's really cool. Beautiful, beautiful. Stunning, stunning.
It's beautiful.
You happy with that?
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you did and you want to see the full uncensored version, you can head over to Inspire. There'll be a link down below for that. But if you want to stay on YouTube, there's some other videos that you can check out of ours now.